Hey everyone, how's it going? This is a very random philosophical video. Not just philosophical, I think an observation video. I am a PhD student, currently studying artificial intelligence and how we can use generative AI to create future scenarios and optimize our decision-making process when it comes to long-term complex problems. Yeah, it sounds a bit of everything and nothing at the same time, but I've just been like looking on Twitter or looking on a lot of places, and I see these crazy work setups of people. I mean, I own a desk and an extra monitor as well, but I feel like if we just sit down in bed and read some nice papers, it just makes more sense, because I don't know, I went into a rabbit hole of this philosopher. His name is Diogenes, and he's like super famous for living this very ascetic lifestyle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, but he's like quite famous about his crazy lifestyle, and just he used to carry a lantern in daylight searching for an honest man, whatever that means. But I feel like these days there's this whole thing about getting the best work set up to enhance your productivity. I mean, I see so many videos of productivity. I feel like you don't need to be productive, or productivity is I don't know why productivity is so important in a human being lifestyle. I mean, if you're working, I should have my work be productive, but I myself should be able to just live my life. And I'm sorry, I probably just read papers in bed because I'm lazy, but I think that it's also because I'd like to reject being productive. I feel like I've done most of my research papers reading in just bed, because I feel like if you're in a nice posture, if you're just sitting down relaxed, your mind can only focus on the thing you're actually doing. Like if you're like, all your brain cells will just think about the problem you're thinking. And I think that's a beautiful way to read, beautiful way to think, is to just let your body go. And I do have a work setup, but I usually just use it when I think I use work setup just to be performative, maybe to impress my partner that I'm working so much. And you see, my dogs here totally understand this, because when I entered the room after getting ready and getting some breakfast, they were already in this position, so they probably want me to read now. And so some tips for reading in bed. I mean, you can get any sort of tablet. Tablets are amazing for research papers, I feel. I print out as much as I can, but I feel like it's really harmful for the environment, and you should not do that. I probably printed out stuff last time because I didn't have my iPad with me. I was in another city. So this is like a random paper. I'm doing this course, this extra course, not really an extra course, but like a knowledge exchange thing at Cambridge. So For that I have to do some case studies, so that's what I was looking. I was just charging my Apple Pencil here, and so I feel like for research papers, oh, it's working, it's charged now. For research papers, all you can do is to download any of the apps. So it can be EndNote. Actually, I'll just make notes for OneNote. Okay. Some of my research here, which I would rather not show. Okay, sorry, I've totally forgotten how this works. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, I was just studying some ABM modeling here. Okay, let's just do a random thing. So, sorry, Leo, Leo, say hi. Oh no, he's too late. Oh, okay, he's a puppy, he needs sleep. So, I feel like maybe for proper reading, reading research papers. So what do we actually need? Firstly, the most important thing is to try to read on something which is not a proper computer. Like, we don't need a proper computer. We don't need like a proper device. No, because I think that's distracting. I don't know, maybe it's me, but keys distract me. Keys distract me is a no-no. And I've noticed, like, on laptop, even if you like create full screen, like, you can see too many things, too much going on. Even on an iPad, to be fair, it's too much going on. But I don't know, I'm somehow able to, because it's like a huge iPad. I don't know, it's like 12.9 or something. Got it refurbished on Apple Store and gave away my iPad mini. I have thoughts about my iPad mini, by the way. So keys distract me, everything distracts me. And I feel like the human civilization, we started by reading little manuscripts. Like, we started by reading little manuscripts. We started by writing on walls. Like, I feel like everything was very two-dimensional when it comes to reading and writing. And I feel like, of course, not talking about exact real dimensions, I feel like reading and writing should be a very interactive process. It has to be interactive. Now, I've seen some how to read a research paper quite well, if you know Professor Carr. That's an amazing video. If you see, he's also reading from a bunch of papers that he's printed out. So if you're able to print out on recycled paper, or just like try to make the font small or divide the paper into two so that you don't waste too much, do that. My favorite papers are the papers which are most important to me. I print out. Apart from that, it has to be interactive. Now, interactive doesn't really mean that you have to keep taking notes. Doesn't mean taking notes. Interactive could be if I'm, for example, let's see if there's a nice paper. Okay. Wow, where are my papers? Okay, another tip is to have good papers. So basically, for example, if this is my paper, this is not a paper, I know, but if this, okay, I just realized where my paper was. Let's open Zotero. Okay, so for example, if this is my paper, I'm reading about a one-dimensional chemical transport model. I have to interact with this paper to actually be able to take in everything. So I usually skim through a lot of like major stuff. I don't go through everything, but if I find something really important, usually highlight it and read about something. So I'll just and write about something. Sorry, I'll just write some that it's talking about concentration of urea. That's really interesting because we were just talking about Diogenes and how he's also famous for like urinating on people who, who insults him. So that's really cool. World is a simulation and serves a measure of toxins. So I'll just write it down. So it becomes like an interactive activity, and it's not just because of writing. Because I'm actually it's like a like I'm basically talking to a book, even though it might not be like talking, but I'm talking to something here. So this is it. This is what I really wanted to say. So, and now talking about consumerism, and we're talking about consumerism here, where I have Meta Glasses app opened in my Meta Glasses shopping opened in my iPad. I just mean like if you see a lot of people out there, I've already lost my notebook, so it's really nice. Okay, I give up. But talking about like, so first point was no computers, keep it window free first, 2D, interactive. I feel like, so I grew up in like this tiny village in the mountains of Himalayas. Yeah, Mount Everest. I'm basically a Sherpa. And most of my studying I started with just doing on a little blackboard, which was basically a black door with like a really nice paint, so I could use a chalk on it. And I didn't have I might be biased here because I did not have a computer till I was like 20 or something. So it's not been many years without a computer, with a computer, but still. And I think I understood most of stuff, like even mathematics, even English, by just writing stuff and interacting with wisdom, knowledge. So, and I feel like consumerism plays a major role in why we have now shifted to like multiple monitors screen, and apparently we feel like these multiple monitors or these extremely widescreen monitors would help us. And honestly, in the gaming world it definitely helps, especially for like Twitch streaming. In like development it actually helps, but does it like moving your head from one place to moving your head from here to here definitely takes more muscle energy instead of doing the alt plus tab thing, just switching to a different screen or window. But I know people might be different, but for reading especially, I feel like if you want to read, if you want to get through a paper, just do it as relaxed as possible. Be Diogenes, be relaxed, be yourself, and just get into it. And if you have cats and dogs, just stay with them while you read. I'm sure they'll really appreciate your reading time. Okay, that was it. Welcome to my dead talk. Okay, bye.